So for patients who are currently on gemcitabine-based chemotherapy in first line, after they progress or if they have toxicity, we typically enroll them onto an access program so that they can get Nal-IRI in second line. So the program right now is still available for the time being. So I've enrolled a number of my patients on that treatment already. So I came across two posters that looked at real-world evidence in terms of use of Nal-IRI in routine clinical practice. One was done in Korea and the other was done in Austria. And by and large, I think they just confirmed what we thought what was happening already. Use seems to be good and the outcome seems very consistent with what the Napoli trial showed. In one of the posters done by the Austrian group, they actually compared two different therapies used in second line. So both Nal-IRI versus an oxaliplatin-based chemotherapy, and what they found was that the Nal-IRI group did a bit better. Now the trial was very small, only had a little over 60 patients, and it is prone or limited by its retrospective nature. But again, I think it reaffirms what we're already suspecting because in previous years there was the Pancreatic study that did look at oxaliplatin-based chemotherapy in a trial setting, and it showed that did not fare too well. So again, I think having this real-world data is just reassuring and reaffirming and letting us know that what we're currently doing is probably we're on the right track, basically. The trial question is a good one. Personally, I don't think there's a huge need for a head-to-head comparison of Nal-IRI and oxaliplatin-based chemotherapy because there were as I mentioned, there was another trial a few years ago that already demonstrated that oxaliplatin did not fare as well as just 5-fluorouracil chemotherapy. And because Nal-IRI has been quite quickly adopted into clinical practice, I'm not really sure there's still equipoise to do a study. I think more and more now we're looking ahead to maybe a third-line study, which sounds a little crazy to say because 5-10 years ago we never even thought about second line, and now we're talking about third-line chemotherapy trials in pancreatic cancer. And by chemotherapy, I'm not referring to just cytotoxics, but also other systemic therapy agents like IO drugs. So I think we're now looking more to subsequent lines of therapy and not really comparing the two regimens.